obviously we had a couple of Derby representatives yesterday from a family that I know well, Tours, Duke Bronte, they're all mile and a half handicappers, but showed a little bit of speed at Ascot when outclassed on debut. 66 to 1 our outsider. The other Ian Williams runner, What Happens in Vegas? He had the red hood on in the paddock, but he was the much better behaved of the two Ian Williams runners. Much cheaper as well, £40,000 from the Breeze Ups compared to 170 for Hintsa Bay. He was a smaller type, and looks as though the experience will probably be needed. All in all, looks to be a nice opportunity for Jasur, 6 to 4 on to win at the second attempt. Pan 8 at 9 to 2, Hintsa Bay at 7 to 1, Mushtarek also sevens. Nazalan, who wasn't the biggest, as he's been very naughty at the start. Hintsa Bay, and that's been a trend of him in the paddock and the prelims. He's been very fresh and badly behaved. He may not be a colt for too much longer. Hopefully David is all right. He's on his feet, which is the main thing. Not sure where the horse has gone. Hintsa Bay, strong in the market despite his paddock antics, and now he's not behaving himself at the start either. Just to be a little bit of a concern. And just getting a little bit worked up is our favourite, Jasur. Mushtarek behaving well there at the back. Jasur, 6 to 4 on now. Penite, 4 to 1. I thought it was lovely, even relaxed in the paddock. Hintsa Bay, the naughty horse, 7 to 1. Mushtarek also sevens, and Nazalan 11 to 1. Go to Work, couldn't get a tongue tie on that 128. What Happens in Vegas, 33s, and you're outside a Hearts Pocket Rocket, 80 to 1.
So we're trying again with Hintsa Bay.
David Egan is back in the plate on Hintsa Bay.
Well, he's into gate 5.
And installed.
David Egan is back aboard. So Hintsa.
Thanks, Nick. Yes, a bit of drama in the parade ring and behind the stalls with Hintsa Bay, who is a lovely-looking son of No Nay Never. I can see why he made £170,000 at the Breeze Ups, joined the Ian Williams team, but he hasn't behaved particularly well. But the fact he's still 7 to 1 suggests he's shown plenty of ability at home, which he should do for the Breeze Up price tag. The other Ian Williams horse now, What Happens in Vegas, who had a red hood on in the paddock and was actually very well behaved in the paddock. He's getting a little bit upset. Still 7. You can see him rearing up and providing a little bit of difficulty. The one that behaved best was definitely number 8, Panite, who's in stall 1, already installed. Daughter of Ektidar, her price has dramatically increased each time she went through the ring. And she walked around like an absolute professional for Richard Hannon, Kevin Stott and Amo Race. And stall 1 probably isn't ideal for a debut in particular. She may jump left-handed. And at the last meeting, the stands rail was the best place to be. And on 2-year-olds is once again Hintsa Bay, who's installed, and David Egan's on board, is just having a rear in the gate. So quite a few of these 2-year-olds are not behaving particularly well. Jasur in the paddock, he was very relaxed for his second start. He was a little bit on his toes behind the stalls from all accounts when some of the others were misbehaving. He sets a good standard. Another one misbehaving is Go to Work, who was very much on toes in the paddock, and they couldn't actually get the tongue tie on Go to Work. Declared to wear a hood and a tongue tie, but he was misbehaving in the prelims, and unfortunately Connections couldn't get a tongue tie on him. So the stewards have let that horse run without the tongue tie, but not ideal that he's getting very worked up behind the stall. So all in all, they're a little bit of a badly behaved bunch of 2-year-olds for this debut. Hopefully all 8 will eventually run. Back to Jasur. He made a lovely debut at Salisbury. He sets a standard both in the market and on form, and potentially he could still be good enough to head to Royal Ascot if winning today. I can see Hearts Pocket Rocket on toes, the son of Ulysses, not bred for 5 furlongs, but a very small individual, Hearts Pocket Rocket, hence the name. Out the back, didn't actually see him in the paddock, Mushtarek, the son of Memas. He's been behaving very well throughout. He was a bit green on his debut at Ayr, but he needs to step up on that way. He was 6 lengths behind the very impressive Army Ethos, who certainly knew his job for Archie Watson last time. So
Close at any stage is Paynight.
all of these are
Well settled, the filly.
proving very tricky to deal with at the moment.
Just nearly in now.
Just going forward, stall 2. Let's go and join our commentator for the day, Alex Fusi, as these 2-year-olds, Alex, have been pretty tricky to deal with.
Hi James, afternoon everyone. Yeah, this has been fun and games indeed. All of them, with the exception of Paynight, have really caused issues at one time or another. Hopefully we're nearly there now. Looks like we're down to the final pair. Mushtarek is not playing ball at present. He's due into stall 8. Also waiting for Nazalan to gate 4, who's also needing lots of encouragement at present. That one is now in. So away to the left as we look on. Mushtarek will be the final one forwards to stall number 8. But it's more backwards than forwards at present. For the British Stallion Studs EBF Maiden Stakes. I'm not sure how many more chances Mushtarek is going to get, you know. Considering the way that 1 or 2 of these are played up already. Leaving them longer in the starting stalls could be an issue. Nazalan is restless in stall 4. Still pushing away at Mushtarek to 8. Blindfolds on. Right direction at least. And is in. That's it, ready. They're off. Away and racing, some indifferent starts. Hinitza Bay was slow to begin, also a little bit sluggish was what happens in Vegas. For the British Stallion Studs EBF Maiden Stakes over the 5 furlongs. With experience, white sleeves and cap, Jassor got a good beginning. Paynight away to the right, the violet jacket is also away on terms. Heart's Pocket Rocket is stalking the pace, is in company with Mushtarek. Nazalan showing signs of inexperience. Hinitza Bay starting to improve a shade. What happens in Vegas at the back end of the main group and Go to Work cannot lie up at all. They are very well stretched out, and it's Jassor who's pouring it on. Heading to the final 2 furlongs. Paynight is the one to give chase. Mushtarek remains in 3rd, then Hinitza Bay. Nazalan to the outside, then there comes Heart's Pocket Rocket. But as they head to the final furlong, Jassor is still in front, clear by 2 lengths. Paynight is shaping with plenty of promise, the filly in 2nd, but it's Jassor dominant from the front end. It's still clear by a half length. Paynight closing well, won't quite make it. Jassor has won, lots of promise from Paynight. They are away of Nazalan and Mushtarek.
Number 4, just. And a photo finish.
A winner on second start then, Jassor for Neil Callan and Clive Cox. Back in second was the newcomer Paynight, who was the best behaved of all of these 8 in the prelims. She's run an absolute cracker on debut. It was tight for 3rd. Maybe Nazalan, the Star Spangled Banner newcomer, got up from Mushtarek. But Jassor, he had nothing really to race with him throughout. He was a little bit green, I think, on the front end. I think we'll see a different performance perhaps when he's got something to race with him. He's just hanging a little bit left-handed throughout. Neil Callan was keen to get him towards the stands rail. The ground is pretty quick here at Nottingham this afternoon. Maybe he wasn't entirely happy. And Neil wanted to win as easy as possible, but Paynight stuck to her guns gamely. I thought it was a lovely debut from our second for Kevin Stott in Alma Racing. Nazalan, he's not the biggest type. He's shaped well enough on his debut for 3rd. Mushtarek, who I said was behaving. It took a while to get in the stalls, finished 4th. Hinitza Bay, all too much for him on his debut. He will step up in the future, but he might want to be gelded. Bad behaviour shown throughout. Little Heart's Pocket Rocket is probably going to struggle. And then we got What Happens in Vegas, who was very green on debut, and Go to Work. They couldn't get a tongue tie on that one, and that probably didn't help his chances. So all in all, a bunch of badly behaved juveniles, but the one that came out on top was the one with the form in the book, Jassor, an 11-8 on winner for Clive Cox. Jockey Neil Callan and owners Al Mahaya.